Welcome to the Inspirational Living Podcast, brought to you with the generous financial support of listeners like you. If you would like to support the continuation of our podcast with a one-time financial donation, please visit livinghour.org/donate. Thank you. Today's reading was edited and adapted from The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Baltasar Gracian, translated from the Spanish by Joseph Jacobs and published in 1892. Mix a little mystery with everything, and that very mystery will arouse veneration. And when you explain something, be not too explicit, just as you do not expose your innermost thoughts in ordinary conversation. Cautious silence is the holy of holies of worldly wisdom, but a resolution declared outright is never highly thought of. It only leaves room for criticism, and if it happens to fail, you are doubly unfortunate. Besides, you echo the divine way when you cause others to wonder and watch. Knowledge and courage are the elements of greatness. They give immortality because they are immortal. A person without knowledge is a world without light. Wisdom and strength are like eyes and hands. Knowledge without courage is sterile. If you would be wise, have others needing you rather than thanking you. To keep them on the threshold of hope is diplomatic. To trust to their gratitude, boorish. Hope has a good memory, gratitude a bad one. More is to be got from dependence than from courtesy. When dependence disappears, good behavior goes with it, as well as respect. Let it be one of the chief lessons of your experience to keep hope alive without entirely satisfying it, by preserving it to make oneself always needed, even by those who seem to have everything. We are not born perfect. Every day we develop in our own personality and in our calling until we reach the highest point of our completed being, to the full round of our accomplishments, of our excellence. This is known by the purity of our taste, the clearness of our thought, the maturity of our judgment, and the firmness of our will. Some never arrive at being complete. Something is always wanting, while others ripen late. The complete individual, wise in speech, prudent in action, is admitted to the familiar intimacy of discreet and accomplished persons, and is even sought out by them. Cultivate relationships with those who can teach you. Let friendly conversation be a school of knowledge, and enlightened culture be taught through communication. Thus you make your friends your teachers, and mingle the pleasures of conversation with the advantages of instruction. Sensible people thus enjoy alternating pleasures. They reap applause for what they say, and gain instruction from what they hear. Knowledge and good intentions together ensure a continuation of success. A fine intellect wedded to a wicked will is always an unnatural monster. A wicked intention poisons all excellence. Helped by knowledge, it only ruins with greater subtlety. Indeed, knowledge without good sense is a double folly. Application and ability. There is no attaining greatness without both, and where they unite, there is the finest achievements. Mediocrity obtains more with application than a great talent without it, and work is the price which is paid for a grand reputation. However, entertain no exaggerated expectations upon entering your work. The real can never equal the imagined, for it is easy to form ideals, but very difficult to realize them. Imagination is wedded to hope, and gives birth to much more than things are in themselves. However great the excellence, it rarely suffices to fulfill expectations, and as people find themselves disappointed with their exorbitant expectations, they are more ready to be disillusioned than to admire. Hope is often a great falsifier of truth, so let skill guard against this by ensuring that accomplishment exceeds desire. A few small successes at the beginning are sufficient to arouse curiosity without pledging one to the final majestic object. It is better that reality should surpass the design, and is better than originally thought. While it often goes unnoticed, there is an art to being lucky. There are rules of luck. It is not all chance with the wise. It can be assisted by care. Some content themselves with placing themselves confidently at the gate of fortune, waiting till she opens it. Others do better, and press forward, and profit by their clever boldness, reaching the goddess and winning her favor on the wings of their virtue and valor. There are no other umpires than virtue and insight, for there is no luck or bad luck except wisdom and the reverse. Wise men and women arm themselves with tasteful and elegant erudition, a practical knowledge of what is going on, not of a common kind, but more like an expert. They possess a copious store of wise and witty sayings, and of noble deeds, and know how to employ them on fitting occasions. More is often taught by a well-timed jest than by the most serious teaching. Seek out the lucky and avoid the unlucky. Bad luck is generally the penalty of folly, and there is no disease so contagious to those who share in it. Never open the door to a lesser evil, for other and greater ones invariably slink in after it. The greatest skill at cards is to know when to discard. When in doubt, follow the suit of the wise and prudent. Sooner or later they will win the odd trick. Leave your luck while winning. All the best players do it. A fine retreat is as good as a gallant attack. Bring your exploits under cover when there are enough, or even when there are many of them. Luck long-lasting is ever suspicious. Interrupted seems safer, and is even sweeter to the taste for a little infusion of the bitter-sweet. The higher the heap of luck, the greater the risk of a slip, and down comes all. Fortune pays you sometimes for the intensity of her favors by the shortness of their duration. She soon tires of carrying anyone long on her shoulders. It is a great piece of skill to know how to guide your luck, even while you are waiting for it, for something is to be done with it by waiting, so as to use it at the right moment when opportunity knocks. When you find fortune favorable, stride boldly forward, for she favors the bold. But if you have bad luck, keep retired so as not to redouble the influence of your unlucky star. Remember to prize intensity more than scale. Excellence resides in quality, not in quantity. The best is always few and rare. Some people reckon books by their thickness, as if they were written to exercise the brawn more than the brain. The extent alone never rises above mediocrity. It is the misfortune of universal geniuses that in attempting to be at home everywhere, they are home nowhere. Intensity gives birth to eminence, and rises to the heroic in matters sublime. Cultivate a reputation of being gracious. It is the chief glory of the high and mighty to be gracious. That is the great advantage of a commanding position, to be able to do more good than others. Those make friends who do friendly acts. Know also how to withdraw. If it is a great lesson in life to know how to deny temptations, it is a still greater one to know how to deny oneself as regards to both affairs and persons. There are extraneous occupations which eat away precious time. To be occupied in what does not concern you is worse than doing nothing. It is not enough for a careful person not to interfere with others. You must see that they do not interfere with you. One is not obliged to belong so much to all as not to belong at all to oneself. All excess is a failing, but above all impersonal intercourse with others. A wise moderation in this best preserves the goodwill and esteem of all, for by this means that precious boon of courtesy is not gradually worn away. Thus you preserve your genius free to select the elect, and never sin against the unwritten laws of good taste. Be sure that you know your strongest point, your preeminent gift. Cultivate that and you will assist the rest. Everyone would have excelled in something if they had but known their strongest point. Notice in what quality you surpass, and take charge of that. Most do violence to their natural aptitude, and thus attain superiority in nothing. Think over things, most over the most important things. All fools come to grief from want of thought. They never see even the half of things, and as they do not observe their own loss or gain, still less do they apply any diligence to them. Some people make much of what is little, and little of what is much, always weighing on the wrong scale. Many never lose their common sense, because they have none to lose. The wise person thinks over everything, but most profoundly where there is some profound difficulty, and thinks that perhaps there is more in it than they think. Thus their comprehension extends as far as their apprehension. Recognize when things are ripe, and then enjoy them. The works of nature all reach a certain point of maturity. Up to that they improve, after that they degenerate. It is a special privilege to enjoy everything at its ripest. Not all can do this, nor do all who can know this. Never exaggerate. It is important not to talk in superlatives, so as neither to offend against truth, nor to give a shallow idea of one's understanding. Extraordinary things are rare. Therefore, moderate your ordinary valuations. Exaggeration is a branch of lying, and you lose by it the credit of good sense. Diligence promptly executes what intelligence slowly devises. Hurry is the failing of fools. They know not the crucial point, and set to work without preparation. On the other hand, the wise more often fail from procrastination. Foresight begets deliberation, and a potential wrong action often negates prompt judgment. Celerity is the mother of good fortune. Let the old adage, festina lente, or make haste slowly, be your motto. Be also resolute. Bad execution of your designs does less harm than a lack of resolution in forming them. Streams do less harm flowing than when dammed up. There are some people so infirm of purpose that they always require direction from others, and this not on account of any perplexity, for they judge clearly, but from sheer incapacity for action. Some skill is required to find out difficulties, but more to find a way out of them. There are other people who are never in dire straits. Their clear judgment and determined character fit them for the highest callings. Their intelligence tells them where to insert the thin end of the wedge, their resolution how to drive it home. They can soon get through anything. As soon as they have done with one sphere of action, they are ready for another. Engaged to fortune, they make themselves sure of success. The Inspirational Living Podcast is a production of The Living Hour. Get the best of our podcast in book form by visiting the website inspirationallifelessons.com. Thanks for listening. I look forward to talking with you next time.